Parenting. Great values to teach your children for their own good. Values about women. Everybody has wrong values sometimes. We should just recognize them and change them. That's all. Children learn by watching their parents and also by listening to them. And when parents usually talk in front of children, very often what they don't understand is that the child is taking what they say quite seriously. Sometimes the parents may not really mean what they say. They may say something lightly, something that was meant to be a joke. Sometimes they may say something because they are angry, and so they may not really mean what they say at that time, but it makes no difference to the child. If you say something often enough and don't explain to the child that you didn't really mean what you said, then the child is going to believe in it and become an adult believing it. And when the child grows up, he or she is going to live in society according to what they learned. And they will practice those values however ignorant and unjust they are. They will then pass it on to their children later, and so on and so forth. And one of the things that often happens in life is that women are slighted or implied to be not very important in conversations of adults. Let me tell you 2 stories that explain this. The first story is about a father and his son. The son, a child who is about 10 years old, gets a new teacher, a young, pretty lady. The teacher is kind and loving to all the kids, but she happens to help this boy on a special assignment. The boy develops what's called puppy love for the teacher. Because of this, he wants to buy his teacher a gift. The boy gets a small allowance every month from his father, and he usually saves this money. Now the boy decides to use all his saved money to give a gift to this teacher. But he has no clue about what to buy for a lady who is an adult. So he asks his father about what gift to buy. The father asks, "Who is it for?" The boy answers, "Pa, it is a secret." The father asks, "Is it the little girl who is currently your friend?" The boy answers, "No, and this girl is older." The father says, "Oh, okay. How much are you going to spend on the gift for this girl?" The boy replies, "I am going to spend all the money I have saved because she is special." And the father replies, "What? You are going to spend all that money on a girl?" Yes, that's what he said, because that's the way some men think about women. That's the respect they really have for women. Now, what is the father teaching his son by saying, "What? You're going to spend all that money on a girl?" He is teaching the boy that girls or women are not important. They are insignificant. This is the idea that the child is probably going to have when he grows up into an adult. And if so, what kind of social relationships is he going to have? Can he have a good, healthy, lasting relationship with a woman with this kind of ignorant notion? Think about it. Now, you may ask, what is the right way of saying what the father said? Let me continue a little further with the story and you will understand. Later, the father went to work and he told his assistant, a man, about what his son was going to spend on a gift for a girl. The assistant exclaimed, "What? Your little boy is going to spend all his saved allowance on a gift? You see, now the key word here is gift. He didn't say for a girl, but he said for a gift. Now, this is the right way of saying the same thing. This shows the assistant's mentality. This does not insult or put down a woman. So you see what I'm saying? One has to be careful about what they say in front of their children or to their children. And if these adults happen to have some old-fashioned ideas about women, they should make an effort to educate themselves and start being fair to women. Now let me tell you the second story. This is another interesting story of what happens when a father or mother teaches their children wrong values that are deep-rooted in themselves due to ignorance. In this story, a father of a little boy, say 10 years old, is a widower. He lives in a little town with his aunt who helps manage the household. This man has a lady friend. In this town, a local government position opens up. It is a position of authority. There is an election, and this young lady wants to compete for that position. When the man and his men friends hear about this rumor, they are absolutely against it. They don't think that a woman is capable of skillfully fulfilling the duties of that position. They believe that such positions are typically held by men and that a woman's place is in the kitchen and that she should concentrate on being pretty, having children, and so on and so forth. The lady tells the man that she wants to compete for that position. The man laughs and remarks that it was not a good idea for a woman to do that. That makes her all the more adamant to follow her desire. And many women, most of them just housewives, support her. They prepare banners and provide some publicity for her. Now the man and his friends decide to teach this young lady and her women friends a lesson. So this man's friends stop their credit cards from being used by their wives. When the wives find out about this, they tell this to the man's aunt. She gets furious that her nephew was behind all this. So she gives those women an idea to take revenge upon their husbands. The next day, when the husbands want to eat, there is no food ready for them. No breakfast, no lunch, no nice and hot dinner either. The house remains a mess and no fresh clothes are available because no laundry is done. Thus the whole town becomes divided between husbands and wives, men and women, and there is chaos. The lady friend of this man finds out about this and feels responsible for this unhappy situation. She visits the man in his home and in front of his aunt and the little boy, she announces that she is giving up her desire to compete for that position. She says, "I wanted to use my skills to do some good for this town, but I didn't want to divide this town and create unrest. So I'm not going to compete for that government position. I am dropping out of the race." The little boy too heard all this, and he says to his father, "Pa, isn't that great? You did it. You taught these women a lesson, didn't you? You showed them that they are no good. You put them in their place." When the boy says this, there is pin drop silence in the room. The lady becomes sad She says that she is now going to the rally where men were campaigning against her and announce that she is dropping out of the race, and then she leaves. After she leaves, the aunt says to the man, the father, "Look, what a fine job you did bringing up your son. You have taught him to ridicule and demean women. Imagine what kind of healthy relationships he is going to have with women in society when he grows up." The man is stunned. He didn't realize that his words went straight to the heart of the boy, that his words will have that much effect on the little kid. He immediately goes after the lady to the rally that she was headed to. He takes his son with him. When he gets there, he goes to the little stage and addresses all the men and women. He says, "Does anyone here think that this lady is not capable of doing this job for reasons other than the fact that she is a woman?" There is no answer from anyone. The man continues, "Look, if we bring up our boys with this negative attitude about women, won't it be rather difficult for them to find a girlfriend or be friends with women later in life? So let's encourage and support this capable lady for this government position." Everybody listened to him and then cheered the lady. Thus, in these two stories, everybody, including the father and the little boy, learnt one of the right values in life. It is about men treating women with respect and dignity and as equal partners in life. It is about giving jobs and equal pay for equal capabilities, skills, and hard work. It is also about women treating other women with kindness and helping them instead of being jealous of them or unduly critical of them or putting them down. These are the good values you have to teach your children if you don't want them to be chauvinistic, but instead you want them to be healthy, happy people with healthy, happy relationships with not only women but with everyone.